Hello, this question on your right, over here. Here. When you accepted the Stanislavski Prize in Moscow, you said that the acting process is very mysterious. And when you were given the AFI tribute, Shirley MacLaine at the ceremony said, and I quote her now, "Maybe Meryl Streep knows more about channeling than I do." So my question is, whether you, anytime during your career on any given role, have channeled, maybe unintentionally, someone, or what maybe Shirley MacLaine believes that one also can channel her own reincarnational selves. Do you believe in any of those?
This question really goes to the core of what I think about acting and what I think about it's how I've evolved in my thinking about its worth and what actors do. When I was very young, I didn't think I wanted to be an actor, even though I loved doing it, but it felt more like showing off than communicating anything of importance. And as time has gone on and I've realized what I get from performances of people that I've seen, of actors from all over the world, that have told me something about an experience of a life I've never experienced or never will live or never outside of my own understanding, but it's told me something about myself in watching it as a member of the audience. This is a complicated way of saying that I think actors are translators. I think we translate for people in the audience the experience of people that lived hundreds of thousands of years before us, or in countries hundreds of thousands of years from us, or in bodies that are decades older than ourselves, or we're people that gather experience and put it back into the world. And I think that that's a valuable thing. And I think it's when I was a little girl, my dream was to be a translator at the UN, because I thought this was a great, great thing. That there were these women, mostly women, who sat up in booths like this, and they had the earphones on, and down in the General Assembly were all the people in this was the 60s. They wore native dress to the General Assembly people. It was a very colorful hubbub of a Tower of Babel. And I thought, my mother took me there to observe, and I thought, what a great thing to be someone who sat up in the booth and made peace among the various people who didn't understand each other. Just made some sort of tied it together. And lately I've thought that in my life I've had an opportunity to do that. So that's sort of an interesting kind of full circle that I've made back to my childhood dream.
Miss Streep, for me, hi, good afternoon. I'm very moved. For me, you're the best actress of all time for me. So you're my favorite actress, by the way. I want to ask you two questions. One is... I'm very nervous. Probably more so now, but the loudest question... I was a bit depressed in the last film I saw, it was like a big party when I left it. Did you... This film that you were working upon, I don't know whether you were aware you were going to transmit this emotion, this will of living. In the latest film I saw of yours, I didn't get the name. And the second question is a bit more stupid. That's to say, at this time, after the intense characters and important characters that you've portrayed, and quite varied, there's a character... Is there any character that you would have liked to portray and that you've not done yet? And thank you very much. I didn't catch the film he was talking about, but he's talking about the fact that it was a very sad film, and then when he left, it made him feel like living.
My translator didn't understand the name of the film that you were talking about, so I can't respond.
Just Mamma Mia.
It's Mamma Mia.
Mamma Mia, perdón. Mamma Mia.
Okay.
Simple, Mamma Mia, sorry. Your latest film, obviously, which has just been.
Okay, this is a very difficult translation to now attempt. So maybe I should go up in the booth. Maybe they have a better understanding of the question. Here's what I think about Mamma Mia, and I think your question is that you were depressed at the end of Mamma Mia.
Back to front, opposite, the opposite.
He was depressed when he came in.
It was back to front.
Okay. Well, that makes me very glad and very happy and gratified and relieved, really. I think we do films for all different audiences, but we don't know who's going to go willingly and like it and who's not. And so, I don't know. I respond to scripts based on what I think is the value of the piece delivered into the world. Does this deserve to live? Does this have a place? And pretty much, I've decided to do things right along in my 150-year career based on that decision. Is it worth putting out into the world? And sometimes it's for a silly reason, just to bring people joy, and sometimes it's for a reason to shake up something, to inspire a dialogue politically. Sometimes it's to, for all different reasons. But I don't think I've ever done anything because it would advance my career. I haven't, and I've been very lucky because I haven't made strategic moves. Do you know what I mean? Said, now I'll do this year, and then this next year, and then that'll put me right up over the top of $100 million. I did Mamma Mia because it made me happy when I saw it in the theater. When I was, my daughter was 10, and we were living in New York, and it was right after the World Trade Center, and everybody was very low. And I had her birthday, and all the children were kind of very subdued, and I wanted to take them somewhere to cheer them up. And Mamma Mia, they came out of that show dancing on air, and I thought, well, this has value. This is cheering to certain women and girls, and maybe some men. So that's why I did that one.